White ibis are very common in wild and remote areas of Florida, such as here in the vast prairie. However, they tend to be quite cautious and easily take flight in such places, as they are preyed upon by coyotes, bobcats, and foxes in the wild. The main threat to white ibis is the loss of their wetland habitat due to development. And now, as many have adapted to feeding on land, they are threatened by use of poisons and pesticides. As more and more habitat is lost, the white ibis are adapting to people and finding life in the cities and fast-growing suburbs more to their liking. This has been going on for decades, and the sight of white ibis while driving around Florida and much of the Gulf Coast is fairly common. What is a newer development is the further adaptation of the white ibis to life in the backyards. I've seen white ibis roost on light posts in the front yard for years, but this is the first year that these obviously intelligent, observant birds have decided to make the backyard part of their feeding territory. They have begun visiting the crow family's special feeding area and stealing or competing for their food, and foraging around the backyard for fallen birdseed, in addition to probing the yard with their amazing curved beaks for tasty bugs such as grubs and mole crickets and such around the feeders. As I use no chemicals or fertilizers or pesticides on the backyard, it makes it safe for wildlife. The ibis caused much initial consternation among the backyard squirrel clan, as these are big birds that tower over the squirrels, with presumably big sharp beaks, but they're actually quite gentle creatures and fit peacefully right into the backyard ecosystem. According to Native American folklore, the white ibis was the last bird to seek shelter before a hurricane, and the first to emerge afterwards. It was therefore seen as a symbol of optimism and danger, and to early Florida homesteaders, white ibis were also seen as dinner, where they were said to taste just like chicken. The white ibis is a modestly sized wading bird weighing a couple of pounds. It's not a member of the heron or egret family, but instead a relative of the roseate spoonbill. The species is approximately 2 feet long with a wingspan of approximately 3 feet. Adults are mostly white with black-tipped wings, a red face, red legs, and a very distinct down-curved pink bill which is used to probe the ground for food while foraging. It is white as an adult but brown on top as a juvenile, turning white before its first birthday. Its bill, exceptionally long and down-curved, is used to probe the mud, water, and soil as if it were giant tweezers. They are quite sexually dimorphic, the male's bill being half again as long as the female's. This is all the better to defend the nest site with, which is a skill much needed as they roost tightly together in colonies. Normally, white ibis prefer coastal marshes and wetlands, feeding in fresh brackish and saltwater environments, with a diet primarily consisting of crabs, crayfish, fish, snakes, frogs, and insects. Though they are wading birds, they have adapted to foraging on our lawns, so spotting congregations of white ibis moving from yard to yard, frantically prodding for insects, is becoming a common and quite amusing sight. The squirrel doesn't know what to make of this. White Ibis is inherently a nomad, moving about from year to year as it finds conditions that are suitable to its nesting. However, in recent decades, the white ibis has become more and more of a suburban and even urban bird, a testimony to its adaptability.